Hey guys, I'm here at the Elite Fight Series show on the Gold Coast, and I've run into NRF fighter Corey Nicholson, the Nightmare. So Corey's got a fight coming up, so I'm just going to have a bit of a chat with Corey and a bit of a catch up. How you going?
Good.
I love that intro. I always say, how you going? So can you firstly maybe give everyone a rundown about your upcoming fight?
Yep. So my upcoming fight is against Brody Stalder on Eruption May 5th, the semi-main event to Jake London, Charlie Bub.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. And so this is a rematch?
This is a rematch for the Eruption belt.
Yeah, cool. And how did the first fight go with you guys?
The first fight went really well. It went 5 rounds and I took the decision for the WMC Pro Queensland title. So,
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit, I want to talk about that fight first, I guess, because you, what number fight was that for you?
27.
Yep, cool. And how old were you then too?
21.
21, yes, sweet. And so you were fighting Brody, who it was what, he was in his 70-something fights?
75th his fight was.
Yeah, cool. So how did you feel going into that fight?
Super nervous, but I kind of soaked it all up on the day after I struggled a bit, and yeah, got the job done and went out there and did what I had to do.
Yeah, cool. And what did you feel like you have to do to get yourself in that mindset? Because, I mean, when you went in there, you obviously, you know, first round, everyone's always sort of feeling each other out, but you kind of, in the fight, you kind of settled in and just let loose.
Yeah, I just knew that I had to start straight away, because I knew once I started getting my shots on, I'd get more confident and I'd be able to land the shots that I wanted to land, and it just worked out really well.
Yeah, cool. And what about, can you let us know, when did you very first start training any martial art?
I started when I was about 7 years old. So I was doing footy 2 days a week, and I was doing Muay Thai 2 days a week just to keep fit for footy.
Yeah, when you were 7.
7.
Cute. And how long did you train for until you had your first fight?
Well, I trained 7, 8, 9. I probably stopped when I was about 10.
Yep.
For about 3 years, and then started up with Dan and Al.
Yep.
Full time. When I was 13, trained for 6 months, and then had my first fight.
Yeah, cool. How did you feel sort of going into your first fight? Do you remember?
I was pretty nervous. It was pretty daunting because it was, you know, there was a lot of adults, and you know, back then there wasn't a junior show, so it was just straight on the adult show.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty daunting fighting in front of people when you're only 13 years old.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And what made you choose Muay Thai?
Well, my dad got me into it because I've always been so small, and he just wanted me to be able to defend myself.
Yeah,
and then when I moved to Dan and Al's, I trained really hard, and then they sort of like, oh, you should have a fight, just have a go, see what it's like, and I loved it, and now this is where I am, fighting the big shows. Yeah,
that's cool. And what are your sort of goals? Like, where do you want to see yourself in fighting?
So in Muay Thai, I want to eventually work my way all the way to the top and fight the best of the best. Like I don't want to have an easy road. I just want to fight hard fights, good fights, bring them over, anyone, put them in front of me and we'll fight them. And I kind of want to go in the way of boxing as well. Yeah, cool. Because like I can use my hands really well, and I've got a really good boxing coach, and we're doing amateur at the moment until we get offered a pro fight, and then we're going to start fighting pro boxing. Yeah, cool. You've had a couple of boxing fights. So how did you find transitioning between Muay Thai and boxing? At the very start, I sucked. To be brutally honest, I did suck. But I'm actually not too bad at it now, because I've got my footwork going and my hands going. The only thing is when you transfer from boxing to Thai and back, you sort of have to have like six weeks, because it gives you 2 weeks to change stance, because your stance is a little bit different. Yeah. So, and you move a little bit different. It takes me, it only takes me about 2 weeks to transfer, and then gives me 4 weeks of solid training. Yeah, right. Yeah, interesting. Because I always wondered like how you go with not kicking. Like, you know, you go to do it and you're like, or is it because you've got shoes on, it kind of makes you more aware? Yeah, I've not once tried to kick or elbow, but I did have someone continuously get me in the clinch, and I did pull on their neck, and Ben waved me and said, don't do that. Get out, abort. Yeah, right. Yeah. So can you give some advice to any kids out there, you know, that are looking to start Muay Thai? Definitely. If you're a kid out there, I recommend doing it, because it's good for confidence, you can get self-defense, and you're going to be doing it with all sorts of other kids, and you build up friendships. Yeah, that's cool. And what about, can you let us know, you know, sort of, when you transitioned from fighting as a junior into an adult and fighting adults, did you do that as soon as you turned 18, or were you already fighting adults? So I had a 10-month break off after I fought Jag for the Queensland title. That's right, yep. And then I went from there to fighting Dylan Pollock 10 months. So I had 8 months off and then trained for 2 months to fight Dylan. And we were both 18, 19, 18. So then I fought him I fought maybe 3 18-year-olds and then stepped up to fighting adults. So I kind of gradually stepped my way
up. You can come out. The promoter was trying to hide. Did you find that a big difference in fighting someone who, like, how old was your first adult opponent?
Well, my first
18, 19.
My first adult, so like grown up compared to me, was in Thailand.
Yeah,
I fought on Max Muay Thai.
Yep.
And I fought a grown up over there.
Yeah.
And then from there, I fought a couple of people around my age, 20, 21, and then my next adult was Brody.
Yeah. And is there any difference, do you think, or is it not really?
Not really, because I grew into my... I kind of grew into my strength a little bit.
Yeah,
so like having that break, I grew into my strength, because when I was fighting, I was skinny. I didn't have any muscle or anything.
Yeah, right.
And so I sort of put on a couple of kilos, but still fight the same weight.
Yeah.
So it didn't really affect me too much because I am tall for that weight, and it's quite easy when you're taller to fight shorter people.
Yeah, cool. And what about, give us a little bit of rundown what it's like to fight in Thailand and on a show like Max Muay Thai?
So it was actually really fun. So on Max Muay Thai, because it's televised, they pump out 3 fights on that night. They pumped out 3 fights, and it's just 3 threes. You just going for it, and you walk out in front of all the crowd, and it's really good. They put you on the big screen. You walk out from a big screen, and it was really fun.
Yeah, right.
So I got told that there's a whole lot of tourists that do a tour, and they go to the Max Muay Thai Stadium, and like that's part of their tour.
Yeah. Yeah. How was it like having your face on the big screen?
It was pretty cool. Although they spelt my name Cody.
At least it's a little bit closer to what some of them are.
Yeah.
They could have put corn dogs.
Yeah.
So. And do you find it different fighting in Thailand than it is here?
It is different, but I still fight the same because it works for me. So why change what works?
Yeah, good one. Yeah, nice. So. And what do you think for you? What has Muay Thai done to help you or changed you as a person?
Muay Thai has changed me completely because it's grown me up, because I've always grown up with the older boys like Mikey and Benny and Dan. I never really grew up with kids my own age. I grew up with all the older boys, so I kind of matured quicker, so I never really went down that path of the drugs, the alcohol, you know. So I was always training. So it helped me in that aspect, that I never went down the wrong track.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, nice. What about for things coming up other than your fight on Eruption? Is there anyone out there that you want to fight?
Anyone, literally anyone who wants to fight. Someone sort it out. Message Ben, contact Ben, because we're looking for fights, and there's not many people out there. So if you are between 52 and 54, let's go.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah. Set it up. Any show, I don't care. Interstate, Queensland, wherever.
Yeah, cool.
Sort it out.
Just keen to fight.
Keen to fight and get it in there. Yeah.
That's cool. Is there anyone you want to thank, or anything else you want to tell people about yourself?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone, or the gyms that I've trained at, Iron Fist, the Fight Centre. I'd like to thank my parents dearly, because without them I would not have trained, and they drove me to and from the gym for years until I had a license, and they looked after me and all that. And I'd like to have a quick shout out to my 2 sponsors, Don's Removal and Storage, as well as Alex at Innate Vitality.
What do the last one do?
Alex is a chiropractor.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, nice. So, what's a handy one to have on your little thing there?
It's very handy. 6 weeks out every week.
Yeah, cool. Nice one.
It's good.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, thank you so much for having a chat with us.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you fight on May 5th in Brisbane.
Can't wait.